I have some really big sites. I have a site. I'll tell you about it, but it's they want between 10 and 15 machines. It's I know, I'm not kidding. Here's the machine. I said it's a great machine. You're beating out 96% of the competition out there. It's not hard to find good locations.
Brought to you by Naturals to Go, the Vibecast is your gateway to realizing your entrepreneurial dreams.
Hey folks, Linda Ballesteros here. Welcome to Vibecast. I'm your host today, and we're going to have a fun time with Kory Cernik. Kory has been a Naturals to Go owner-operator for a couple of years now, and boy, is he blowing it out of the water. And we're going to find out exactly what he's doing. Kory, thanks so much for spending some time with us today.
Thanks for having me, Linda. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. So, Kory, tell me a little bit about your background before you joined Naturals to Go. What were you doing?
So it's actually what I'm still doing, only I'm very part-time doing it. But in 2013, I got into a courier business, started small route, and then ended up getting a bigger route, and then growing that and getting drivers and getting people to work for me. And it was everything that I've ever wanted to do. The whole concept for me was to be able to work, maybe 1 or 2 hours a day, then go home and do something else. And so I ended up having some issues, which brought me into vending because of the issues that I had at my previous employer. And so now I'm really able to do what I wanted to do back then that I'm able to do now. So it's been quite the journey to get into vending.
So when you were looking for business opportunities, what was it about vending that you thought, I think that could be my answer?
Yeah. Well, so, what happened with my previous employer was, they made the comment to me, like, you're getting really big, you're growing a lot, and we might have to taper you off a little bit. And, I was a glorified manager. I wasn't an actual owner. They let me act as an owner and basically have the freedom of an owner. But at the end of the day, if they wanted to do something with my route, they were able to do that. And here I was investing, all this money into people, into vehicles, and people are driving for me. And I will never forget, when they said that to me, that, hey, you're getting too big, that I had to find something where there'd be nobody over me, and that I'd have the freedom to actually make my own decisions and not be stopped doing it. And so it was kind of a no-brainer. It was about 3 or 4 months later where, the idea of vending just kind of reached my spirit and just made total sense to me.
And so when you started looking at vending, what drew you to Naturals to Go?
Well, so I did do my due diligence. I did research. I looked at some of the competitors, and but I kept going back to Naturals to Go because of the technology, the machines, all the other competitors out there. When I compared the machines, my thinking was, okay, if I'm going to go with another company and I get a machine like theirs, and then I'm in competition with someone that has a Naturals to Go machine, and I'm the employer, I'm going to choose the Naturals to Go machine because it was just better. And so for me, it was the technology. The 10CP machine is just a good looking machine, period. It catches people's eye. The technology on the card reader, it takes Apple Pay, Google Pay, every type of credit card there is, the tap options. So the technology is amazing. And that sold me too. And then everything's on your app, everything's on your phone. So, you know what you need to load, what you don't need to load. You can shut down a machine from your phone. You can refund from your phone. And so just the technology now is just amazing. And so that, and the conveyor row on the machines as well, where that has got me into so many different locations because you can offer people actual meals. You can put anything that can fit in there: Uncrustables, sandwiches, cheeseburgers, salads, all those different factors in that machine. And then the locating as well. I mean, for me, the locating, I didn't have time because I was still full-time at my previous job. And so when they told me that they would find the locations for me, and that that they were going to go out and do all the extra footwork and build the website for me and everything else. So it was a no brainer. It was so worth everything that I spent to start it out, Linda, because it opened up for me the ability to still focus on my kids and my job and then do all the work for me. And so it was very, very convenient. And for me, when I look back, I'm so glad that I made the decision to go with Naturals to Go, because there was other options out there for me, but it didn't fit the mold, and I really wanted to get the best machines, and so that's why I ultimately chose them.
And so, how many machines did you start with initially, Kory?
8 machines I started out with, and right now I'm at 27 machines, and I have 2 coffee machines.
Oh,
So
wow.
a lot of growth. Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, a lot of growth. So how have you managed that growth? That's very fast, expanding
It
very
is.
quickly. So how
I
did
I
you
don't.
do that?
It's the grace of God. It really is. I have a desire and a hunger, to get out from my previous job at the beginning, and so I was very, very motivated to do so. And now that I've gotten to where my goal is, and I still obviously want to keep growing it, but I can kind of take it a little bit more easier. I have a 16-year-old son that helps me out now with filling up the bins and doing all that. So that takes off a lot of the pressure, and so he does get paid for that. And so, yeah, it's a lot of work, but I look at it, Linda, as like a season for me where, you got to work hard in order to get where you want to go. And so I'm looking for the future where, I can work 3 days a week, then take 4 days off. And with vending, you can do that. So that's my goal.
And you said that you didn't have any vending experience prior to Naturals to Go. So
Yeah,
tell me a little bit about the training. Was the training sufficient for you
it's
to be
awesome.
able to actually get out there and open your business?
Yeah. So the training, that in itself, that's what I was most surprised by, because just the network of people that support you. You're not going into this alone, because I didn't know anything about vending. I had no concept of any of it, or how the machines worked, how they operated, and they did a really good job of explaining it. And then they set you up with a coach to help you through any obstacles that you might have, and then that and the Naturals to Go helpline, that's available for me as well. Whenever, I have an issue, which isn't very often, but if I do, I give them a call, and not once have they not fixed anything or told me to do this or do that. So just, you're paying for not only the machines, the technology and the locations, but really the service that they provide behind the scenes, where it gives you the confidence to go in there and you feel like, okay, I can do this because I have all this support behind me. I'm not doing this alone.
You're not in it alone, because there is a huge team behind you.
Yeah.
So Kory, when you're out there and you're now looking for locations, what are some of the good locations? What is it that you are attracted to, or what industries? Is there something in particular that you're looking for when you're out locating?
I love the factories. I have a lot of dealerships. Dealerships are good. Car dealerships are good, but man, you put those guys in factories, those guys get hungry and they want to eat a lot of food. And that's what I've learned, just kind of going out there, the truck driving places, metal factories, stuff like that, where there's a lot of labor. Those guys are dependent upon my machine. I mean, they don't bring meals. A lot of them don't bring lunch because they want to get a Philly cheesesteak out of there. So, those locations I usually have to go twice a week to. But that's ultimately what I'm looking for, is locations where they want to eat a lot of food. Obviously you want locations that have a lot of traffic. And what's great about it too is it's easy to get into locations like that with these machines. I mean, the technology. I remember the first big account that I got that you guys found for me. They wanted 6 machines. It was a big dealership here in Clay County, and they wanted to have a meeting with me. And I'm thinking, I have no idea what I'm going to say because I'm a new operator. Okay. I was like, I'll do it, And it was funny because I go in there and I have a flyer, And they were all looking at me to say something, and I said, "Well, here's the machine." I said, "It's a great machine," and they looked at it. And the technology sold itself. You didn't need to say much. They're looking at the machine. They're looking at how it looks. They're looking at what it offers, and so you're beating out 96% of the competition out there because they don't have that conveyor row. They don't have a machine that looks the way it does. So it's not hard to find good locations. You have to be able to kind of get an idea of where there's a lot of foot traffic, where they're going to be consuming a lot of food, and it pretty simple. Once you're able to figure that out, because at the beginning I had no idea what would be a good location, but once you start doing it, you start realizing this would be good, this wouldn't be good, this doesn't have enough people, and then you work from there.
And so, Kory, you've been in it for a couple of years now. And once you have landed the location and you installed the machines and you've started working with the management and the crew there, what is the most important thing that you see in maintaining that location? What's important there?
That is a good question. Being friendly, being kind. For me, I feel like it's a privilege that they picked me. I feel like I'm a part of their business. I work for them in a way because they're allowing me to put my machine in there. I give away a lot of free stuff too, Linda. People love free food. And so, they realize like, oh, he's not just trying to make money. Like I give away stuff every week to people just randomly, and people love it, and so they realize, talk about stuff, make conversations, the management, you get really close to the management, and you just build relationships with them. And what helps too, Linda, is, I love being able to sell something I believe in. And so I'm able to sell these machines. Like I really believe in these machines, and it comes off that way because I really do believe in it. And so they are just as excited as I am when you're going in there, because you're replacing machines that are, I call them, middle school machines, because it seems like they're the machines that I had when I was in school long ago, and so they're getting an upgrade. And so you just keep that atmosphere of like, you guys are getting an upgrade, and it's just fun. I mean, you become very popular, Linda, at these locations because you're the food guy, you're the vending guy. And so everybody knows you, and you want to do your best to try to get to know everybody there too. But honestly, I think I maintain good communications with people just by treating them the way I would ultimately want to be treated going in there. And a lot of people, they don't do that. They don't have the customer service. The people that we're replacing, they don't go up and fill the vents when they're supposed to. They don't fix the machines when they're supposed to. And you just doing what you're supposed to do, they think, like, wow, that's amazing. It's like, I'm just doing my job, So it's a fun experience. It's fun to make people happy.
I would imagine it's also important to kind of listen to what is it they want in the machines,
Yes.
and deliver what they're wanting, right?
Yes. Listen to the managers. I'm so surprised, Linda, when managers tell me you should put this in there, you should put that in there. They know their employees. They really do. And I've had a really good feedback from them. And a lot of locations, I put a magnet board on the side for them to write down stuff they want. So I get feedback that way as well. And every location is different. I mean, some places you think this is going to sell really well and it doesn't. And then other locations, that same item, the other day I had a location, they requested V8s. They want 2 rows of V8s. I've never been able to sell V8, but if they're going to buy it, I'm going to put it in there. So it's really just paying attention to what people say, what people want, and listen to management. I'm telling you, it's like they have this nurturing spirit about them where they just know what their employees will eat, what they want, what they don't want. And it's been pretty successful just listening to them as well.
And they want to keep their employees happy, don't they?
Exactly. So it's a win-win. It's like a happy wife, happy life, happy employees, happy management. So it's a good combination there. Yeah.
Kory, I have one final question for you, but folks, before that, I just want to remind you that if you've gotten some information out of this, if you've been able to benefit from what Kory has been sharing, be sure to like and subscribe and help us keep the vibe going. So, Kory, what are your growth plans? What does that look like for you? Do you have an idea or do you have a target?
The sky is the limit. I don't have anybody over me anymore saying, Kory, you're getting too big, And so naturals to go, there's operators that have hundreds of machines. And so I don't know what I don't know. And when I get to those points where, I'm at 40 machines and I have to hire somebody, there's already somebody in the company that has that. The fact that, I don't have to, think too much about it in the future because I have people that I can call right away when I get to that issue and they'll be there to help me to grow it. As far as growth, so I'm close to landing a location. It's a location here. It's about 1,300 employees. And I did a walkthrough with them last month. They went between 10 and 15 machines, which is a lot of machines. And so I'm really excited about that. There's a college campus as well that it's about 3 or 4 machines that I would put in there. They actually live on the campus. It's kids between 16 and 22. It's a job corporation center there that train people and train kids. And they have no food in there at all. They have a cafeteria that's open for, X amount of hours, and then the kids are hungry, so that'll be a good one. And then there's a semi truck training school as well that I talked to last week that wants a machine. They're not interested, they want it. So the growth is happening. I have a support system that helps me to do it. I have the technology, I have the machines that help me to do it. So it's just a win-win all around, and it's exciting. And I know that with the technology that's changing, I know that, the people are looking at micro markets. I've had interest in that. AI machines, which I know Naturals to Go is getting into that as well. So it's exciting too to, have all these different requests, and then to have a company that's behind you that can make that happen. So that's exciting as well.
So, Kory, if somebody is listening and they have thought about getting into vending and not real sure, what kind of advice would you have for them?
Do it. I would ask to talk to owner operators that are doing it. That's what I did. I took advantage of that. I asked, hey, can I talk to some people that have X amount of machines? And they gave me phone numbers to talk to them, and I got some really good feedback. And so for me, I would recommend talking to other people that are in it. And then if you are undecided, just from the concept, I think just the location factor alone, where they find the locations for you and that they guarantee, X amount of ends. And if you don't make that, they'll move the machines for you. I think that's a huge factor. So it takes away the risk, and it does pay off. I'm doing very well, and I'm thankful to the Lord for that. And I'm thankful for the support system that they gave me to do that. So I would definitely do your due diligence, do your research, and then talk to other people that are in it, and go from there.
Well, Kory, I know you're a busy man and you're growing your business and you've got a part-time job on top of that. So I certainly appreciate you carving a little time out of your busy day for us. So folks, thanks so much for joining us today on Vibecast. And until we meet again, go out and enjoy the vibe.